This was recorded back in November. There's several Sasquatch in here. The first one we're going to look at is right here. He's got a piece of fruit in his mouth. So I'll do a markup for those who can't see it. You see his head goes like that. It's just conical head shape. He's even squinting his eyebrows there, his brow ridge, and his nose is flaring right here. Then there's his lips. He's got a piece of uh, flower or fruit hanging out of his mouth, chewing on it. Check that out. I haven't enhanced the photo at all. Oh, also on top of his head, he's got a little juvenile sprawled out across his head, conical head shape. And you see he's got his little arm down here hanging onto his eyebrow, or his the meat of his eyebrow ridge there. He's holding on to it, straddling him. They cover up their eyes, assist in covering up their eyes and everything, but I can do some enhancements and get those eyes to show up there on the little one. Let me see here. Now in that image, also we're gonna go over here and look. So we got one Sasquatch here that's he's on the ground running backwards up the hill there a little bit. You can see him, he's kinda in a little football pose, right? There's his head. He's got his hands down there. They run on all fours. They can run on all fours or 2 feet, whatever they want to do. But yeah, he's right there. Now these next couple ones they're really good ones here, so um, bear with me here. So there's another one right here, but he's laying backwards on the ground. You can see his eye there. There's his nose. There's his mouth. His head goes like that. He's laying that way on the ground. Um, I've not done any enhancements or anything, but so I'm going to enhance these photos after this is over here in just a minute. Try to get some more detail out on the photos. Okay, so if I go all the way over here, if I can get the stupid camera, okay. If you look up top here, the very top, you'll see a giant looking down out of the canopy. Um, so he's got a bunch of vegetation on his face and everything, but you can definitely see him. He's got his shade lenses on his eye, except his right one there. It shows his pupil there a little bit, but he's definitely there. Looks like there's one here to the right, as looking at it, it's the left for us, but to the giant's right, there's another Sasquatch right there standing in the tree. So, let's see here. So we got the one right here standing in the tree, and then here's the giant's face. Here's his eyes, his nose, his mouth. I could possibly get that closer for us here. For those having a hard time seeing it, just bear with me here real quick. Okay, this one here that was on the tree, he's leaning his head out sideways. Well, I take that back. There's two of them there. Looks like there's a juvenile climbing on him, but his head is, that's his hairline right there. There's his eyebrow ridge. His eyes are right there, and his nose. It looks like this mass right here is probably a juvenile climbing all over him, most likely. You can see the whites of his teeth there. He's frowning. And here's the giant. Okay. And we got some really good footage over here further to the right we're getting ready to get to. Bear with me here. Okay, so here's one here looking up in the tree. Just a moment. So we got this little female right here. Here's her hair. There's her nose bridge, and there's her mouth. You can see she's smiling right there. And there's her eyes. And then there's her chest and the little arm. Little teenager, most likely. But then you see her parent right behind her here, the adult. He's either picking her up out of the tree or dropping her off, one of the two. But you can see his eyebrow ridge and his nose right there. Um, Behind her in the vegetation. Absolutely phenomenal. If you go further right, there's a couple Sasquatch standing here. We're going to take a look at them. Okay, the first one is right here. Check him out. So you see he's got a little juvenile up here for one. His feet sticking up on top of his head like that. Little juvenile sitting backwards on him. And then there's his forehead. Here's his eyebrow ridge. There's his nose. His eye right here. He's looking out of the corner of his eye at me. There's the hair around his mouth and the hair up his face like that, but that vegetation is covering his hair up. But you could see him plain as day. And then he's got a littler one right here. You can see the hairline. It's got shade lens on its eyes, and its nose, and then its mouth right there. Well blended, covered and concealed, hiding in the bush. Now there's a couple more up through here, but like I think there's one sitting back. It's like here's an arm, fingers, and then there's the face sitting backwards. And there's the eyes. But it's a little too far over there, and I'm not real sure about all that. But the ones up front here you can see plain as day. But that one right there is a good one. I've seen him several times crossing my land. Seen him on several occasions. There's a couple more down through here in the bush. You can see one back there behind the tree here. One leaning out right here. Check him out. He's peeking around the tree here. See, his head is like that. There's his eyebrow ridge, his nose, and his mouth. He is leaning around the tree looking at me. Just amazing. Pretty good find. Pretty good catch. That one I think I can enhance pretty good. Get some more detail out on that one. I'll probably do a follow-up video to this footage. And there's one right here in that vegetation. You can see him too in the green part there. Sasquatch is real, folks. Now, I do know pareidolia is a real thing, and it does happen a lot, especially when you're out here hunting for Sasquatch. Trying to find Sasquatch, and your mind can play tricks on you for sure. But what I will do is on my footage, I will go back and forth and see the movement of them to make sure that they are a Sasquatch before I report them as a Sasquatch. Um, Before I put a video up on them, 9 times out of 10, I check my work. So I'm not saying some of it might not be pareidolia. It's very possible, probably a reality. But even if 50% of what I'm reporting on the internet is Sasquatch, then they're real, folks. I've seen them with my own eyes. I know they're real. But, you know, when you're trying to show the general public about Sasquatch, they think you're an idiot until they see it for themselves. And all I can do is present the evidence. There's a Sasquatch right here behind this tree. We got another one right there. There's a couple of them there. This is not blurry photos. This is just Sasquatch hiding. That's all it is. I know people say, well, why can't we ever get footage that's not blurry? I mean, you're hunting a creature that's out in the woods. I mean, they're not just going to walk out and say, here I am. You're going to have to get into the woods and find them and figure out where they are. That's like when they first discovered the apes over in the Congo. It took them like 150 years to locate them around those volcanoes, those twin volcanoes over there. It took them 150 years to track them down around the volcanoes. So, and these beings here are more elusive. I'm leaning more interdimensional or something like that, but they're definitely here. There's a conical head. If there's something to them, they got certain abilities. I made a video about them overheating my camera. If you want to go check that out, it's a pretty good video. It shows you using some of their abilities. Anyways, hit the like button and you have a good day. Make sure to set your clocks forward. Peace.